Hi, my name is Sylvie McCracken from HollywoodHomestead.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make meals in 30 minutes or less with 5 ingredients or less. This is perfect for when you just get home from work and you haven't prepped ahead and you need to get dinner on the table fast. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to make a pan roasted salmon with cauliflower rice and a simple green salad. Let's get to work. So here I have my 5 ingredients. I've got a head of cauliflower, I've got some salmon, I've got my coconut oil, and I'll also have some lettuce and tomato for the simple green salad. So I'm just going to take the head of cauliflower, I'm going to cut off the stem, and I'm going to chop it roughly so that I can put it in the food processor to make the rice. So I'll just cut it in fourths like this. Help me better get the stem off. And that's about it. You can just put it in the food processor like that and pulse it until it's the size of the rice that you'd like. Okay, so now I have almost the whole head of cauliflower. I'm going to do it in 2 batches, and I'm going to just pulse it until it's the size of rice. Okay, one of them is stubborn in there. I don't want to pulse it too finely, so I'm going to put this one in the second batch, and then I'm just going to pour it into the saucepan that has a little bit of water, filtered water in there. The cauliflower does already have a lot of its own water, so you just need a little bit more. Then I'll put the rest in and finish this off. So here I have my cauliflower rice with a little bit of water in the bottom. I'm just going to cover it and I'm going to put it on the burner for about 20 minutes on medium heat. So while I have my cauliflower rice cooking, which I'll stir occasionally, I'm going to get the salmon started. I've got a pan here, a stainless steel pan. I have it on medium heat and I'm adding a 1/4 cup of coconut oil just so it doesn't stick to the pan. If your salmon has skin on it, you can go ahead and put it skin down. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to slide this in. Usually I'll let it heat up a little bit, and then I will just slide the salmon in, and in a second I'm going to turn the heat down to low. So now I'm turning the heat down to low, and I'm going to go ahead and salt and pepper it. If you want to get fancy, you can do any herbs you have. I like putting rosemary on it sometimes from my garden. I'm pretty generous with the salt and pepper. And there's no need to turn the salmon at any point. It will just cook like this. And then we'll just cover it. And you can check it in about 10 minutes and see if it's cooked all the way through. Just with a fork, just check that it's a nice light pink color. And you do this all while you're checking on the cauliflower rice. And now that it's cooking, I'll just go and make my simple green salad. So here we have it. The salmon, the cauliflower rice, which I just put some butter, salt, and pepper on, and then lettuce and tomato, just with some olive oil and vinegar. This looks delicious. Let's try it. That is good. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to make a paleo taco salad. So for the paleo taco salad, what I like to have is a head of lettuce, any kind you like is fine. I've got a couple tomatoes, I've got 1 green apple, and a couple avocados, and the most important part of it, which is 2 pounds of grass-fed ground beef that I get from my local farmer. So we're going to start with cooking the ground beef, and you can assemble the salad while this is cooking. So here I have my 2 pounds of ground beef. It's 20% fat, it's an 80% ground beef, so I don't need to put anything in the pan. I'm just going to throw it in there, I'm going to break it up and let it cook for about 15 minutes. So I'm just going to put it on high. It's a stainless steel pan, there's nothing in it, just the ground beef. And I'm just going to break it up a bit so it can cook evenly. And I do 2 pounds because we're a big family and we love leftovers, but you could always adjust as needed. And as far as spices go, you can go as bland or as interesting as you'd like. It's really helpful to have some spices blended, prepared ahead of time. I'm lazy, so I'll just do salt, pepper, and I've got some oregano handy. And I don't measure it out, I just kind of wing it. And you'll figure out over time what you like better. So after I break it up into smaller pieces, I will cover it and let it cook for about 15 minutes while I get the salad ready. And I will check on it and continue to kind of move it around, make sure it kind of cooks evenly on both ends. It'll start getting a little juicier in a minute. So you can just come back and keep stirring it. So while we keep an eye on our ground beef, we're going to assemble our salad. So here I have my washed lettuce, and I'm just going to finish chopping it. And you've got your tomatoes and your apple already chopped here. I'm pretty rough with the salad. I'm not very particular, but you can cut it as big or as small as you like it. I'll usually start with the lettuce, and then I'll add the tomato, and the apple. That's probably good. And the avocado I usually save for last so it doesn't brown. And once the ground beef is done, we're just going to put it on top. You can salt and pepper, and I usually like to use olive oil and apple cider vinegar. I get the raw, unfiltered kind. And that's about it. It's super easy. So the avocado I'll usually do just in little cubes, however you like it. I usually cut it in fourths like that, peel it. Super easy. And then, again, you can cut it as small or as large as you like. And just put it on there. So now that the ground beef is done cooking, I'm just going to put it right on top of the salad. And that's about it. This is a great meal especially for hot days. It's just a salad with some protein, some fat, everything you need. If you really want to get fancy, you can also add jicama on top for a bit of crunch. This is one of my favorite meals. The last thing I'm going to show you is how to make an omelet with salmon, avocado, and tomato. Okay, so now we're going to make the omelette. So what we like to do sometimes is have breakfast for dinner. An omelette is a really great way to do that. It's super easy, and you can do it with any leftover protein you have, or like a pre-cooked sausage to get some more protein in there. And if not, if you don't have anything and you don't have a lot of time, just whatever you can chop and stick in the omelette is a great dinner. So here I'm going to show you the ingredients. This is for a single serving, but you can adjust for as many as you need to make. I just have 2 eggs. These are pastured eggs, and it's so much easier to make an omelet with pastured eggs. They hold together a lot better. And I have an 1/8 cup of coconut oil to cook it in. You can use any cooking fat that you'd like. I sometimes use bacon fat from pastured bacon, or grass-fed butter, anything you like. And then I have the vegetables and protein that I have on hand, which is some leftover salmon. You can use anything you want there. You can use cooked sausage, piece of chicken from last night, whatever you've got. I've got some tomato and some avocado. So here I have my stainless steel pan. I like to use either stainless steel or cast iron. And since it's stainless steel, it's not non-stick, we have to use some coconut oil. So I'll just put in enough to sort of cover the pan. I'm using less than 1/8 of a cup, it turns out. And I have it on low heat, and I just let it heat up for a second. I've got my eggs already beat. I've got 2 eggs here. I don't have anything in them, and I'll just pour it in, and it'll cover the pan. And then just on top, I will pour in all of my ingredients, just like that. And you gotta go easy on the tomatoes because they're a bit watery. Just like that. And now I will cover it. So now it's been about 8 or 9 minutes and it's looking fluffy, and I'm just going to go ahead and fold it over. Hopefully I won't break it. I'll just fold it in half like that and let it cook for another couple seconds. But it's pretty much ready. We're just going to plate it, and if you have some salsa or anything you like to serve with it, that's great. Otherwise, it's fine on its own. You can salt and pepper it and just serve it up. So this is more like a 15-minute dinner. So delicious. You can serve it up with anything you want. You can have a salad with it if you'd like, or some salsa, or I like to eat it just like this. Great. So I don't want to hear any excuses. You can get dinner on the table in 30 minutes or less with 5 ingredients or less that are affordable and delicious. See you next time.